'Tis good to see y'all. I'm excited to be here. Unfortunately, can't be here very long today, but I do think we're going to have some fun. So, yeah, I think we're gonna be good. So, yeah, I think kind of the interesting thing here is as we get started, trying to figure out exactly what we want to do. So, hmm, hmm. So we shall see. Trying to figure out exactly what I want to do. So regulating on a harp is an interesting thing because basically what happens is over time, all the little gears, all the little tools on your harp will basically get a little bit out of whack. And it does a few things to your instrument. And one, it can make it so that like you don't have the correct tone, so your harp's gonna be slightly out of tune, like no matter what, how well you tune it. But it also can create buzzes, it can create all sorts of problems. So regulation is actually a really important part of owning, playing, being a part of the harp world, in my opinion. So it's interesting though because technically what harpists are told is different from like what you really need to do. So regulators will tell people if you're like a professional level harpist who's performing frequently, you should have your harp regulated basically like every year. Um, and then the average harpist probably only needs it done every like 2 to 3 years. From my experience, it's more like a harpist who isn't playing all the time. It's more like every 3 to 5 years. You could even go a little bit longer if you're not playing it that often. Um, but yeah, it's a very fascinating thing. So, I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this. So, the big thing with harp regulation tools is you have lever regulation tools and pedal regulation tools, and they are a little bit different. So, I'm trying to figure out if I want to display both or if I want to just do pedal or just do lever. So pedal regulation tools are a little more specific in like the tips that they have, whereas lever regulation tools are a little more common because lever harps are a little more common. They're built by more people, so the regulation tools are a little more accessible. Pedal regulation, because it's such a finicky instrument, it's a lot more regulated when it comes to like how it's put together and all that jazz. So it's a little harder to find the tools because the governing body for harp regulators don't necessarily want the average person trying to fix up their harp when it runs into issues. One, because that's their industry. But there's also just the side of it that it's really easy to mess up your instrument, and then suddenly the harp regulator's job is going to be a lot harder. So there's also that side of it that it's just also from a sense of like not making the regulator's job any harder by having someone mess up their instrument. You also don't want it like overly easy to find how to do it. So I think from a like layout perspective, I think what we're going to do is probably lay it out like a bunch of tools. That was way too big. Okay, and then we're going to have a little metal cap. And then actually use that. Get that right edge. And then I think on this one, we're going to do a flathead screwdriver. There we go. So we've got that. Let's do a couple other tools. Okay, so we got that. And then this one, okay, it kind of curves around. And it's gonna curve up. And then broaden out. And we're going to pop it over. Ta-da! I think we're going to go with that. Okay, and then I think we're going to do, so the big thing is a lot of these tools, they need to be insanely thin and with like a screw at the end. Spot. There we go. We're gonna do that. Okay, so we got those tools. Then I think we're going to add in some lever regulation tools, which would include basically a little okay. Okay. Okay, and then up at the top, this one. Okay. Okay, we got that. And then we're going to do a couple of these. There we go. And then last one would probably be our little one. We're going to go with this piece. Okay, we're going to do the handle here. Okay, and then we got that. Okay, woo, guys, look at that. That is exciting. So we're gonna go for like 2 more minutes and then we're gonna be done for today because I gotta go, and unfortunately, I will not be here tomorrow. I've got a trip to visit a sister this weekend and will not be bringing my computer. So I apologize for my absence tomorrow. But yeah, I think this is good. I'm excited with how it's going. So we'll see how this goes. I'm sure there's some other regulation tools I could stick in here. Like I probably could just stick in some wire cutters and stuff, but we'll call it good. There we go. Yeah. Ooh, what do I got this time? Okay, I gotta go kind of fast today because I gotta get ready for it. But I also promised the chitlins today that we were going to have. This sounds actually very irresponsible, but we were going to have cake for breakfast. Okay. Yeah. Okay, dudes. Look at there. Ah! Sorry, computer died. Okay, there we go. We got the pin drawings figured out. So I think that's about gonna do it. So guys, thanks for joining me today. I gotta run, gotta go make cake. But yeah, I hope everybody has a wonderful